Welcome to the Sci-Fi Horror and Fantasy Show podcast. And now, here's your host, Ron Donahue.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to the Sci-Fi Horror and Fantasy Show podcast. I am your host, Ronald Donahue, and tonight I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Mario Lazo.
Hey, how y'all doing out there tonight?
And Mr. Jeff McIntosh.
Good evening, everybody. Happy March. It's the end of winter, boys and girls.
I can't.
Hopefully.
Hey, you know what? I guess it's like I said, I was talking to somebody recently, and I'm like, you know what? I guess it's when you get older, it seems like time is just flying. I mean, we're already in March now. So we sped through January and February, and like next week we'll be back at Christmas again or something. It's like, man, time is just like, it's going so fast.
Halloween is Wednesday.
Yeah, you see? That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like, good grief. So how was everybody? How are you, Jeff? I understand you're up there in some 9-degree weather today.
Yeah, high today was, I think maybe like 23, and right now it's 9, and tomorrow's supposed to be like 23, and then we've got 8 or 9 days of warming up into the 40s, 50s, and next Monday it's going to be 60. So
all right,
I'm hoping it's going to melt all the snow, and the grass will become green, and the birds will come out, and I can go outside and dance.
There you go. And Mario, you're good, sir?
Oh, yeah. What are we at? I think it's 73 degrees or 70 something.
Mm-hmm. I think we've seen the last of our cold front for this year. So, yeah, it's comfortable now. But you know, it was hot on Friday though. It was kind of hot on. I think it got up to like 80 something. It was kind of hot, but all right. Well, either or, let's get started. So, comicbook.com just put out a story, and basically it's called the 7 best dark versions of Justice League heroes ranked. Okay, so 7 dark versions of Justice League heroes ranked. Now, when they're saying dark, it doesn't mean like, you know, they're evil or anything like that. It's just they're not like, you know, the Super Friends or anything like that. They're not the Boy Scout versions or what have you. So number 7, they have the Bizarro Justice League, which they're all escaped from a Bizarro world. And anybody who knows about them, Bizarro is just kind of like a backwards Superman. And they have a Batman and a Wonder Woman. All of them are just like freaks in essence. But, you know, that's who he has listed as number 7, the Bizarro Justice League. So then at number 6, we have the Justice Squad. It says this is the future state timeline went hard, giving fans a dark future for the prime DC universe. In this future, Amanda Waller formed a new version of the Justice League, drawing heavily on her iconic Suicide Squad concept. Waller's team only features a few legitimate heroes, like a grown-up Connor Kent as Superman or Bolt as Flash. The rest naturally were villains conscripted into working for Walker, like Talon posing as Batman or Clayface serving as the Martian Manhunter. Thankfully, this future has never and will never come to pass. That was number 6. So now number 5, we have Task Force 7. Speaking of Amanda Waller's team, she went above and beyond to protect the world in absolute power. That was a whole series that they had on the DC series. After acquiring Batman's fail-safe robot, and for those who don't know who fail-safe is, Batman created a robot that, in case Batman ever lost his mind and went rogue, fail-safe would be able to stop him. Okay, that's who fail-safe is. So she got Batman's fail-safe robot and a squad of Amazons Waller had them augmented by the Brainiac Queen to serve as Task Force 7. Waller used the team to steal the powers of metahumans worldwide and bring superheroes and villains under her heels. This was no alternative timeline or universe. The DC heroes were this close to being forcefully retired and replaced by Waller's new task force. Thankfully, a gambit by Green Arrow paid off and brought Waller's team to an end. So then we have the Justice League of Assassins. While many worlds in the multiverse are quite similar to the Prime universe, other Earths have it much harder. In the case of Earth 14, there are no true heroes, only killers for hire, who have to do what they can to survive. Instead of a Justice League America, there's a Justice League of Assassins. That sounds kind of dope. Or at least there was, except for Superman. The entire team was slaughtered by a villain known as Prophecy, who was attacking every Superman in the multiverse. They might not have been an ideal league, but they were the only force for good Earth 14 had. Then we have what's going on right now in DC Comics, the Absolute Universe. So for those, once again, who don't know, Absolute Universe right now, we have the Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Martian Manhunter. So basically, this is a completely different story of each one of these heroes. For example, Bruce Wayne is not millionaire Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is, I think, a construction worker. His mom is still alive. You know, he's helping take care of his mom. Wonder Woman, I don't know the full story about the Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman. I know something like, I don't know if she's from hell or whatever. I don't know her story. The Absolute Superman, his powers are completely different than the Superman that we know, the blue and red suit. Completely different powers and whatnot. So it's a whole different retelling of all these different heroes or whatever. So it says that in this universe, Absolute Universe, the world is dominated by villains who are some of the richest, most powerful, and influential people alive. Absolute Evil #1 saw several of them come together to discuss the problem that heroes presented. Strangely, it was the Absolute Joker who argued in favor of those at the top uniting in order to protect the status quo from being disrupted. This Justice League is not a team of heroes yet. They're doing exactly what the Justice League do, uniting to keep the world they know the same. Then we have the Titans, or the Titans of Tomorrow. Though they kept the Titans name in the Titans Tomorrow timeline, the grown versions of the Teen Titans all but served as their world's Justice League. While they are still committed to stamping out crime, the team's members have grown more extreme in their methods. To be fair, they were haunted by the deaths of heroes from the Justice League, but that trauma sent many of them down a path of violence and cruelty as they continued to justify their acts as heroic. Superhero teams don't get much darker than this incarnation of the Teen Titans. And then #1, we have Justice League Dark. I saw part of that animated movie, and it's not my thing. I didn't dig it. But come on, you didn't think we're going to talk about Dark Justice Leagues and not talk about the Justice League Dark, right? Unlike the other teams featured here, Justice League Dark is an active team in the Prime DCU. They are part of a larger Justice League Unlimited and serve as a home for all manners of magic and mystical heroes. They explore the darkest corners of the universe and take care of any inexplicable arcane threats that arise to terrorize the world. Truly, there are no better Dark Justice League than this iconic offshoot. So, now, out of all these ones, Jeff, which one sounds at least the most interesting to you?
I don't know anything about any of them except for Justice League Dark.
Okay.
Because I was a I was and still am a big fan of
Constantine.
Justice League Dark, because I like the character of the demon that I think, but I very well could be wrong, that was created by Kirby back in the 70s.
Okay.
So I like the Justice League Dark. I saw the DC did 2 animated movies, and I
Right.
think the first one was like Justice League Dark, and I think the other one might have been Acropolis, but don't quote me on that.
Right.
You would think that after years and years of comics, that I would have known there was a Bizarro Justice League, but I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like they have so many different comics out there. I think it's almost impossible to catch up with everything. And the Dark Justice League, that also had the Swamp Thing, Zatanna, Constantine. It was somebody else too, I think. I don't remember who the other person was, but yeah.
Yeah, but I liked the Bernie Wrightson's Swamp Thing from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen some of the Alan Moore stuff.
Yeah.
But I just don't like it. I don't like what they did with the character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the artwork. I don't like the stories.
Okay.
And they made Swamp Thing now. He's like an agent of the green, which is like all the plant life on Earth. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like, no, the the Swamp Thing was Alec Holland, who was murdered and went into they destroyed his lab, and he ended up in the swamp where he was changed into a giant vegetable. Yeah, that's the only Swamp Thing to me. This new one is just no, sir, I don't like it.
Mario, out of all these different versions, which one did you think you liked the best?
The Bizarro.
Or the Bizarro ones?
Yeah, because I can. Well, I guess it goes further back than a lot of the new ones,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I've. This one has Bizarro, and so I'd read that before a lot of the newer ones. Like you said, this industry is becoming like baseball cards and
Mm-hmm.
football cards.
Yeah.
It's this subset and this subset and
Mm-hmm.
this special card and these cloth ones and this and that and it just so I stick with what I like,
Yeah.
and I've been liking Bizarro, Bizarro Superman for a length of time now. I don't know. I don't know. I can't recall right now his first appearance, but since then, because he was a unique character, and
Right.
I've always liked that in the animated or not animated world, the graphic novel world,
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go with what I enjoy,
Okay.
Damn Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like Superman has that. What is it you call that? That if he goes haywire, what is it? Safe or concrete or what was it that you said about if
You're
Superman
talking
ever
about
goes?
Batman.
Yeah, it was Batman.
Batman. Yeah, Batman. I'm sorry, Batman.
Yeah.
But Iron Man has that too, and I'm sure that he created in that Spider-Man outfit, something of the same nature. If you go off the deep end, that comes in or comes into play. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I stick with my Bizarro. He's been around a lot longer, I
I
believe.
got you. I got you. So, for our listeners, out of that list, are you familiar with any of those different Justice League versions? And if you are, who? Who do you like? Or who's interesting, sounds interesting to you anyway? Drop us an email at drbloodstone@gmail.com and let us know what you think. Okay, so next up, we have from ScreenRant, James Gunn's Superman sequel is putting a fresh spin on a familiar superhero movie trope. So, after the success of the first movie, of course, we knew that there was going to be a sequel, which was greenlit. It's going to be called, or tentatively called, The Man of Tomorrow, Superman, The Man of Tomorrow. Supposed to be coming out in theaters July 9th of next year. Now, it also says that we're going to have some of the same people that are going to be in it. It says it has a giant roster, which I don't know what they're calling it so much a giant roster. It's the same people from this movie, the original one, the first one of James Gunn universe. Still has David Cornsweet as Superman, Hawkgirl Isabella Merced, Rick Flag Sr., Frank Grillo, Lois Lane, that's Rachel Brosnahan. We still have Nicholas Hoult playing Lex Luthor, and we have Lars Eidinger as Brainiac. Now, I guess the trope is that in the movie, Superman and Lex Luthor are going to work together. They're going to have a team up and work together, I guess, to fight. We have a common enemy, so they're going to have to work together to fight Brainiac. Okay. I mean, like I say, I again, Superman is not, my end all be all superhero, but I like James Gunn. I think he did a very good job on the movie. I don't need to, think either way. I mean, that's fine if that's what they think they're going to do. It's not the first time we've ever seen a good guy work with a bad guy in a movie. So if it works, it works. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Mario, is that anything ground shaking or earth shattering to you that we know that now Lex Luthor is going to be working with Superman to fight against Brainiac?
Well, I was trying to recall from memory if any of the other Superman movies ever had the Brainiac character. I
Okay,
didn't.
there was, but it was just like a brief thing, and I think if I'm not mistaken, it was either cut out the movie or it was just like a second. Do you remember the when they did that horrible Justice League movie, the original version, right? Not the longer version that made sense. The original one, even the longer version. At the very end, I don't
Okay.
remember if Lex Luthor was on. I can't even remember. That movie is so out of sight, out of mind. I don't remember if Lex Luthor was on the Superman spaceship or wherever he was or whatever. It was somebody that was talking to him at the end of the movie, and they later on revealed that was Brainiac that was talking to him. So
Okay, that's what I was having difficulties. I said,
yeah,
I think I've seen him, but I said I can't recall now.
right,
So it was that brief of an instance,
yeah,
which was
yeah,
maybe 5 seconds, if that,
right,
or I
exactly,
can't recall. So
exactly,
yeah, okay. I mean, we've always had movies, all sorts, superhero, that collaborate with a nemesis to defeat another nemesis. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so if it's something new, or if he's going to reinvent the wheel, it better be a wheel for a Formula One car. Because I expect a lot because we have so much history in the Superman world. You
Right,
know, so
yeah,
we should have something that you're going, oh wow, you know.
something different.
So
Yeah.
you have to tweak it in such a way that it'll interest everybody and say, you know what, that was really good. I might go, I'll see it again.
Yeah. The
So
article.
I'm hoping that
Go
it
ahead.
does. But
Yeah, yeah. The article. It's funny. It said like, so the team up with Lex Luthor would be like a team up with Captain America teaming up with the Red Skull, Spider-Man teaming up with the Green Goblin, Batman teaming up with the Joker, or the Fantastic Four teaming up with Doctor Doom. But stuff happens. I mean,
yeah,
it certainly happens enough times in the comic books, So I mean, what do you think, Jeff? I mean, does this sound remotely interesting to you that Superman is going to be teaming up with Lex Luthor to fight against Brainiac in the next movie?
Well, you go back to Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve, who joined forces with Lex Luthor to defeat General Zod, and
That's true.
the other two super Kryptonians, and of course, that as soon as Superman turned his back, Luthor was giving him the stink eye. So
Hmm.
you're gonna have to go, and you're gonna think, can you really trust Luthor? And I would think most people are probably gonna say
No,
no.
absolutely.
I was sitting here when Mario was talking, and I was trying to think of a time that Brainiac ever appeared live action.
Hmm.
And I think maybe the only time that it ever happened in my recent memory was Smallville, when I think the Legion of Superheroes came down from the future, and I think that they had the good Brainiac,
Hmm.
and I almost want to think that the last incarnation of Superman on the CW or the WB, whatever network it was.
yeah,
I'm
WB.
trying to remember if they had a Brainiac on there or not.
Hmm.
But I would like to see a live action Brainiac.
Okay. Well, we'll see him. They already, like I say, they already have the actor pegged to play him. So, I don't. I mean, I trust James Gunn. I mean, I personally, I think there were a lot of other um superhero villains. I mean, some of them not even like the main ones that we know that I think might have been a better choice um to put in the second film, but maybe he's saving the best for last or later for the third and fourth, I guess, if they make it. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I trust James Gunn. I'll just leave it at that. I trust him. I trust I think he makes, great movies, great decisions, and we'll see what happens.
I
All
would
right.
I would like
Mhm.
to see the Parasite.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, that would be a good. Yeah, that would be real good. Yeah. Okay. So next up, there's a story that is reporting that the Clayface horror movie, the DC Clayface horror movie, is been pushed back almost a month and a half. It was supposed to come out on September 11th of this year, but now it's going to be pushed back until October 23rd of this year. A little bit closer to Halloween, and I mean that might have been part of it. The description of Clayface is being described as a dark body horror film about an actor who injects himself with an experimental drug in an attempt to restore his face after an injury. As a result, the character gains the ability to change his body as if it were pliable clay, but generally loses his humanity. Previously, actor Max Minghella, who plays one of the key roles, noted that the film will not be restrained in its depiction of body horror, and it will be one of the darkest DC projects with an R rating. The script was written by Mike Flanagan. That's the guy who wrote Doctor Sleep and the Haunting of House Hill, and Hossein Amini, who wrote Drive. And the film is directed by James Watkins, director of The Woman in Black. The main role is played by Tom Rhys Harries from The Gentleman. So, is this a sign that there's a problem with this movie? You think it might be some reshoots they're doing other than a month and a half closer to Halloween, Jeff? Or do you think that maybe it's a horror movie? Let's put it out closer to Halloween.
Well, it could be a lot of different factors. It could be, market demands. It could be that they're thinking, hey, if we're going to market this as a horror movie,
right?
What better release date are we going to have other than October?
Right. Yeah.
The association between horror movies and Halloween really didn't come about until the 50s when Screen Gems released all the old classics for sale to TV into it was like 2 or 3 different packages called Shock, and they released Frankenstein and Dracula, and that's when the marriage of horror and Halloween, or Halloween and horror movies, really came about. And I think it's really traditional for most horror movies to be released in late fall to take advantage of that particular mashup.
Right.
It could be that they're maybe doing some reshoots, like you said. Maybe they just want to tweak it and edit it a little bit, and make sure that the practical and CGI looks good.
Yes, true. Yeah. Mario, do you think it's a good idea that they're pushing it closer to Halloween? And what do you think? This is going to be really one of DC's darkest films that has ever been put out. Now, this is not James Gunn. This is not the James Gunn universe. It's a standalone movie, but yet and still, I tend to believe this is going to be one of DC. Is this DC's first horror movie they've ever put out? Well, definitely is the first one at an R rating. So, are we ready for a R-rated live-action DC movie, Mario?
Well, okay. You said Clayface, right?
That's correct.
And we're not talking the villain from one of our superheroes, are we?
Yeah, usually Clayface is one of Batman's villains.
Right, yeah. So it won't include Batman, or it will?
No. It's a standalone. Just
Kinda
like
like
the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, there was no Batman. That's just
and the Penguin series, I think,
there
also.
you go. Yeah.
Okay, so number one, that it's going to be R-rated. Yeah, they're looking at that real close, and more than likely, after they've created this R-rated film, they're going to either have to bring it up to a standard that everybody, foresees in an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so that there could be several variables of why they're delayed or they delayed it. One could be that because it's closer to Halloween, and they have to bring it up a notch or two. I'm wishing that it doesn't go into the slasher type motif, because then you're saying, oh well, okay, it's a slasher movie instead of a DC villain movie.
No, it's going, like I say, it's going to be a body horror film. It's not like the Michael Myers slasher chainsaw. No, it's not like that. It's like just like the body horror, just like really gross stuff.
Right. Because they're, like you said earlier, I think the Joker, was a bit morbid. Not morbid, but sociopathic.
Yeah.
Which what he is. but it's never been done in any of the previous, Joker characters. So, and because this is going to be R-rated, yeah, they've delayed it to tweak it, and it better be good, because if they've delayed it, for such a length of time, it better be good. I'm going to expect, like, not like most movies, but this one, since it's R-rated, I'm going to expect something better. And knowing that it's been delayed for more than likely reshoots or adjustments, it's got to be good. This is going to be in that upper shelf, like the liquor that you pick up the top shelf. Well,
right.
That's what I'm going to expect out of this one.
So let me reiterate once again. This is not in James Gunn's DC universe, but he did give it the thumbs up to get made. Right. He saw the script, and the script, he was really impressed with the script that he saw. So, he was all on board in support of it. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do, to be honest with you. I really liked what they did with the Penguin series. I'm really kind of like, even I didn't see the second one. I didn't see the second Joker film, because I heard it was just like such a disaster. But I really did like the first one, so it's kind of interesting to me seeing these one-off standoff movies of these different characters or whatnot. I think it's kind of cool. So, I mean, whatever they do. I mean, if they put it in October, that's fine. If they put it in whenever, it's fine. I mean, I'll say, yeah, I'm kind of interested in this. Clayface is not one of the DC villains, one of my favorite ones, but I know that he is a force to be reckoned with. I saw in the okay, spoiler alert for everybody, if anyone who hasn't watched it, for the Creature Commandos, he attacked Rick Flag Sr. And I don't, did he kill him? If he didn't kill him, he was like just like a thread away from dying. He beat the crap out of him. It was like just brutal. But they bought Flag back. He survived it. I don't know how, but he did survive. But yeah, Clayface is nobody to mess. That character is nobody to mess with. And I don't know if they're gonna make him like the same way as he is in the animated series, because even in the animated series, he's no joke. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do with this character. Okay. Now let's move to the Marvel universe. So comicbookmovie.com. It's a rumor. So we'll call it a spoiler. It's a spoiler, potential spoiler. So anybody who doesn't want to hear about it, turn us off about 10 minutes and then come back. For the Avengers Doomsday movie, there's a rumor that Doomsday is going to have a right-hand man who happens to be one of the Avengers. And the way that is being described says whoever is giving this, I guess, gave this story or this story to the writer or whatever. It says, according to the scooper, Doom's right-hand man is a wizard who can use a sling ring. He wears a mask similar to Doom's, but with a slot for a third eye on his forehead. This sounds very much like Dr. Doom, right? That's who it sounds like to me. Why he would be working with him, I have no idea whatsoever. But then again, you remember in what was that? Wasn't that no? So there was what was the last two? It was Endgame. What were the last two Avengers movies with Thanos? Endgame was the last one, right?
Yeah. The Endgame was the last one.
And what was the one before that?
Infinity Wars. No, not Infinity Wars.
That was it, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then Endgame, right. So you remember when Doctor Doom? So he had the green stone. Is that the time stone? I don't remember whatever that one he has is. But either or, you remember he gave Doom the stone, and they're like, "What the frick? Why did you do that?" And he was like, "I went through like thousands and thousands of outcomes, and that was the only way that we were going to be able to defeat him." Right? So who knows? Maybe that might be they're doing the same thing, maybe the old same thing all over again. Maybe this Doctor Doom, or if this is not the Doctor Doom that we know, maybe this is a Doctor Doom from another universe or something. Because remember, Doctor Doom was in the Fantastic Four's universe. That's not the same as the 616 universe with everything else that's going on. So who knows? If he traveled from that universe to here, maybe he bought a Doctor Doom, or not Doctor Doom, Doctor, what's his name? Doctor Strange from their universe or another universe to, help conquer the universe or whatever he's trying to do. So, Mario, does this sound relevant? Does it sound like that might be the case, that if it's not our Doctor Strange from our universe that we know, it could potentially be a Doctor Strange from another universe working with Doctor Doom?
Well, you mean like a multiverse?
Yeah.
Okay. What other Doctor Strange has there been in a Marvel movie? I can't recall that.
I mean, it's only been this guy Cumberbatch, Benedict Cumberbatch. He's been the only one.
Yeah, that's what I figured, and I don't recall him, with the exception of his the one with what's her name? Was it his last one?
The multiverse, Into the Multiverse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness.
What are they trying to create? A fourth Doctor Strange multiverse? Or Doctor Doom? Or the first Doctor Doom multiverse?
I mean, it appears that that's what they're just going to stay on top of this multiverse for. I don't know how.
Oh, my God.
How many more movies,
How many times can you go to the well,
Right, exactly. So, I mean, at least that's what it is. As far as I understand. So this is my thing. From what I had heard, Doctor Doom is wreaking havoc because and this all goes back to the last Avengers movie, when Captain America was supposed to go back and put the stones back where they belong. Remember, he stayed back so he could be with Peggy Carter, right? That's why one of the trailers that we saw that came out, I think it was 4 trailers for this movie came out, and you saw Captain America with a baby. Baby, yeah, that's one of his sons. So because he did that, he set some kind of timeline or some different timeline, which caused all this other stuff to go wrong. So I guess Doctor Doom is going to wreck shop because I guess somehow it must have affected him or his universe or what. I don't know. But I'm just kind of like over this multi-universe stuff now. I mean, we've been doing it for quite a while. And everybody's doing it. DC's doing it. Marvel's doing it. And okay. We'll I don't know. So, Jeff,
have they had reviews that indicate that they enjoy this multiverse?
I mean, people keep going back. These Marvel movies, these Avengers movies, making tons of money, so people are going. So I mean, maybe it's just me, but I guess a lot of people are really into that and have no problem with it. I mean, to me, it's just it makes it. I don't know. It makes it too easy. Like comic books.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, people die all the time. Superheroes die all the time, but they always end up coming back. They bring them back, and it's kind of like the same thing for me. Like Gamora okay, another spoiler alert for anybody. I mean, these movies came out how long ago, but Gamora died. Thanos killed her. But what they did was they just went to another universe. I mean, not universe, another timeline, and pulled her back before she met Star-Lord and everybody else. So she's back, but it's still not the same one. That's why she didn't end up with Star-Lord at the end of the movie. You know what I mean? Jeff, does this make sense to you? I mean, it's almost like the same thing like we were talking about with the Lex Luthor and Superman thing. I don't know if this is the Doctor Strange that we know from the 616 universe. Maybe he's another one from another universe. I don't know. But does it make sense to you anyway that this could possibly be happening in the movie?
Well, movies are involve a suspension of belief. Are there really people who have radioactive spider powers? Do you actually have a sorcerer supreme who, defends our universe from supernatural threats? I mean, whatever happened to just plain linear storytelling?
Yeah.
A to B to Z. It's like, oh no, we killed Spider-Man, but wait a minute, really, we've got we brought a Spider-Man from Universe 712, and he's now our new Spider-Man, and he's got like different cooler spider webs.
Right.
For me, it just gets kind of confusing. It's like I need a cheat sheet to go and tell me who's alive, who's dead, who's come back, who's really a secret agent working for the bad people. Maybe there's a bad guy that's really a good guy. Just throw me a bone. I just can't keep track of, 50 different superheroes doing different things at different times to different people and coming from different universes. And you know what? I believe in that acronym, KISS. You guys know KISS?
Yes, keep it simple, stupid.
That's it. When I go to the movies, I want to check my brain at the door. I don't want to think, well, this Thor has short hair and he doesn't have Moljanar. He's got the Spear of Destiny. Why is that? Yeah, no. I keep my storyline simple.
I got you.
I think it's generational, because let's face it, when we were reading comic books, we didn't have a laptop, we didn't have all of the media that we have today, Facebook, this, that, TikTok, and all of this consumption of information through all these different mediums. How did we get it? Well, Jeff, you remember this, black and white TV. And then, look, we got color TV, and then the 3 channels. And, you had the comic books or hardbound books or the little Western little books. You remember those little Western novels?
Yeah.
They're like half the size of a comic book or a quarter of a size.
They had the pulps, and then for a lot of people, they used to have... back when I was a kid, the old Little Big Books.
Yeah. So, but today, what are they focused on when they're walking and they're not looking up? Their cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Or iPad, or So today's generation, or the last, I guess we can say, if I'm not mistaken, 2 decades. Yeah. How long has the iPad been out?
Yeah.
About what? Close to 20 years, right?
Probably, or more.
So, I am honestly surprised, and I say this every time that I look at, the graphic novels and comic books, is that, I'm surprised this has survived, that it hasn't gone to that platform of the laptop, digital. So they consume more than we did back in our day, And that's why you've got to have all these different directions in these movies. And that's the only explanation that I have.
Yeah.
So I may be mistaken, but that's one of the main reasons I believe, because to me, like you, Ron, what, another multiverse? Oh my God, give me a hammer. Let me hit my toe or something, So that's the only explanation that I have that why they go in that direction.
Yeah.
They've got to have different scenarios and different, multiple things going on at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So now start. This article is coming from Parade Magazine. Massive 1950s franchise is going to be brought back to life by the Ghostbusters creators. It says Sony has tapped Jason Reitman and Gil Keenan for a live-action take on a story described as a robotic Pinocchio. So, in essence, the plan is that Sony is going to create a live-action Astro Boy movie. The last Astro Boy film that came out was back in 2009. It was a CGI movie. Now, this is going way back, like they say, 1950s. I never watched Astro Boy, to be honest with you. I know who he is and whatever. I think the character's cool, but I never watched him. I don't even think the reruns were even coming on in Michigan when I was growing up. I mean, I think you can find them online now, but I know who he is. So for those who don't know, there was a scientist who had a little boy and his son died. So what he did was he created this robot that basically looked just like his son, but it was a super powered robot. And it also had emotions just like it was like an android. He had human emotions and everything, but he was in fact a robot. And, just like the old stories, he would fight other robots and monsters and whatever. It was like an adventure story with this little robot that never got any older. He always looked like a little boy.
And he never wore a shirt.
He never wore a shirt. He wore them little
Nice
short
one.
shorts and them boots. And had the little point in the back of his head, in his hair.
Yeah.
I think they used to call that like a DA, didn't they?
Something like that. Mario, let me ask you, was that a cartoon that you used to watch as a kid, Astro Boy?
No, it was the Jetsons.
Yeah, I like the Jetsons.
And I don't recall, Jeff, the Jetsons come out in the 60s or 70s?
That was the 60s.
The 60s, okay. Yeah, it was the Jetsons, and you watch some cartoons on Saturday, but most of the time you were outside. Mm-hmm. So Astro Boy, and I don't think they ran it on the regular channels. I think it was one of those, obscure channels, like a channel 33 or something like that. Mm-hmm. What I can remember, during the late 60s, So that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe that's why I don't recall Astro Boy, to be honest with you. If you said the 50s, and how long did it get to run?
Oh, now that I have to find out for you. I don't know, but I know it was around for a while though. From
yeah, I may have seen it in some, because I don't think they ever came out with a comic book with it, did they?
They had the manga, but not the comic books.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't be, if I saw it maybe once, but like I said, it was the Jetsons or something like that, and that was as far as futuristic cartoons we had back then, I think. I'm thinking, but I can't recall it because I remember the Herculoids and Johnny Quest and, all that from Hanna-Barbera, but I don't recall. God, I can't. I don't. I don't.
It's saying here the original Astro Boy anime series ran from So what are they talking about? Oh, okay, I get it. I understand what happened. So the manga came out first. The manga comics came out first. So they ran from 1952 to 1968. Now, the anime series came out and that ran from 1963 to 1966. They came out with 193 episodes. That's a lot of episodes, man, for
In
4
3
years.
years?
For
Wow.
4 years, yeah, the 193, and it said it premiered on January 1st, 1963, and ended on December 31st, 1966. It was Japan's first popular animated television series, and was later remade in the 1980s. There were 52 episodes made in 1980s and in 2003. Yeah, so the initial show ran for 4 years. Man, 193 episodes. I'm trying to do the math in my head. How many episodes? That's like, golly, they were
Close to
cranking
50.
yeah, they were cranking them things out like, man, like it was no, man, golly. So, Jeff, was that a comic cartoon series that you were watching as a kid?
Oh, you got to be kidding me! I loved. Can you hear that?
What is that? Hello?
I watched Astro Boy religiously for years. Oh yes, it was one of
Oh
the.
yeah.
Well, in '63, I would have been, if I can do my basic math, I would have been
Oh, that's
about
true.
7. So it
Okay.
was one of the first black and white cartoons that
Right.
I can remember watching.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love Astro Boy. I watched the original. I watched the one in the '80s. I watched the movie because Nick Cage voiced.
His
I don't
dad.
know. Yeah, the dad.
Right.
So I've got a long history with Astro Boy.
Okay, I'm gonna take you all. Now this is I grew up on like a lot of reruns, right? Um, so growing up in Detroit, the channel that I watched these on, our channel back then that had these kind of shows was channel 62. That was our channel. We had like a local dance show on there, and stuff like local shows and things like that, local whatever. Do you all remember Kimba the White Lion?
No. To be
No,
honest
you
with
don't
you,
remember Kimba?
no.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So Kimba was like a lion cub, a white lion cub. And he it was always like some type of adventure. They were going after like poachers. Her and like this ranger were going after the poachers, and she was friend. I keep calling she. He was friends with all the other animals and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I grew up watching that. That was one of those 1960 series that Japanese shows I watched. Then I also okay, two more I'll go back on. You all remember Johnny Sacco? In the
Not
giant
too well, but
Johnny Sacco and the giant
Giant
robot.
Robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. That was another show that came on 62. And then, of course, my favorite out of all of them, Ultraman, the original Ultraman. You
Yeah,
all watched that, did you?
I watched a couple episodes, but remember, it wasn't CBS, NBC, or ABC. It was
Right.
one of those like channel 38 or a unique channel.
Uh,
That you know.
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not like a story or character that they made like thousands of movies over. So no, I mean I think it's fine. I mean I don't have a problem with it. I'm assuming it's going to be since it's live action, it's going to be like tons and tons of CGI in it. But it might be a good movie. I'm assuming they're gonna make it. It'll be probably like maybe PG. I don't think it's gonna be G rated. Probably PG, so you can take the kids to it. But then there'll probably be some jokes in there that the parents could laugh at. The kids won't understand. Probably something like that. I'm assuming that's what it's gonna be. But yeah, I'm all for it. I would watch it. I'll probably check it out if if it does get made. I will probably check it out. It'd be kind of interesting. Okay, next story. We have Deadline reporting that there are 2 different G.I. Joe movies in early works at Paramount between Danny McBride and Max Landis. It says that they're in early development. It's been confirmed that between the Righteous Gemstone star creator Danny McBride and American Ultra scribe Mark Landis, that these 2 movies are being worked on right now. I'll say this. Personally, I could care less. I haven't seen any G.I. Joe movie that I've liked. Pretty much most of those 80s properties that they made movies out of, I don't like. I don't like the Transformers. I didn't like any of the G.I. Joe movies. Yeah, I know they were trying to make it seem like there was going to be a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover movie. And they said even in this article that that's not been taken off the table. Personally, I could care less. Their movies are ridiculous. At least to me, it doesn't come across the same way as the nostalgia for me, like the animated shows. Mario, does this sound like anything you'd be interested in seeing as it comes out in the future? 2 G.I. Joe movies?
No, to be honest with you, the movies, you don't mean the anime ones, right? You mean
No, it's going to be 2 live action movies.
Well, they had, who was in them? I'm trying to remember who was in them. They've done, live movies, G.I. Joe, and I really didn't care for them,
Yeah.
I don't think I even watched one for more than 10 minutes, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, that's not one for me, It's not. It's not my curriculum. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you. Jeff, does this sound like something that you're going to run out and go see? G.I. Joe, another couple of movies they're going to make, live action movies?
I haven't seen any of the previous incarnations. I didn't play with G.I. Joes when I was a kid, back when G.I. Joe was actually, 12 inches. And
right.
I didn't play with G.I. Joe when he had Kung Fu grip. And I had also seen that article on Yahoo Today and was reading that. And the Max Landis apparently has had some charges of sexual impropriety or some kind of misconduct laid against him.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever wrote the article was kind of wondering, gee, is this the kind of guy you want to have scripting a big budget movie? As a guy who can't control himself around other staffers? So, back in the old days, if you were a screenwriter or a director or a star, I mean, you could get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But these days, and rightfully so, you get shut down for that and, invited to the gate and don't darken our door again because, you're a pervert.
Your name turns to mud. Yeah. Yeah, I could care less.
It's not a genre that does anything for me.
No.
It's like, I mean, I used to be G.I. Joe. I was in the service. I don't want to watch any movies about being in the service again.
I got you.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows if this is even going to get made or not? But like I said, I personally, I could care less. I'm not. I've yet to see an '80s property, even really the nail in the coffin. We already discussed how horrible the He-Man movie looks. At least to me, I mean, it looks ridiculous. But whatever, we'll see. All right, so our last article for the week, the Hollywood Reporter is reporting that the X-File reboot cast actress Danielle Deadwyler to star and Ryan Coogler to direct. It says Hulu has officially greenlit a pilot to revive the classic UFO series with the Center's filmmaker writing and directing. It says in addition, Center's filmmaker Ryan Coogler has long been attached to the show, and he is now confirmed to both write and direct the pilot, which has been officially greenlit. Says in addition, Center's filmmaker Ryan Coogler who has long been attached to the show, is now confirmed to both write and direct the pilot, which has been officially greenlit. The new show's official description: two highly decorated but vastly different FBI agents form an unlikely bond when they are assigned to a long-shuttered division devoted to cases involving unexplained phenomena. I don't know what I do not know. I'm not seeing it here. I'll check and see if I can find more information on it. With them rebooting the series, I don't know whether or not this young lady is going to be cast as Dana Scully, or if these are all new characters. That I do not know. I don't know, because I even did kind of see something that a while ago. I think that Coogler had been talking to what is her name? The one who played Gillian Anderson, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that her? Yeah.
Yeah.
That he had been talking with her about coming back to the show. So I don't know how same character I'm assuming, but I don't know, what she's doing in the FBI now. I mean, you know what? I'll tell you this. I used to watch X-Files religiously. When it used to come out on TV, I used to watch it religiously. I mean, I think when it was out, I was dating my wife then, and she knew, don't even call me when at certain time when that show came on, because the phone ain't gonna get answered. I used to watch it religiously, but to be honest with you now, I don't watch them. I mean, been there, done it, seen them, couple movies, whatever. I really don't watch them any longer. I don't really have the desire to watch them anymore. But if they're gonna breathe new life into the series, okay, I'm interested. I think showing some new faces. I mean, come on, we don't want to see David Duchovny with Fox Mulder. Let's get some new people in there playing some new roles or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I'm cool. I mean, Jeff, are you ready for this reboot to come out? A new X-Files coming out?
I was a big fan of the original series. I don't watch it anymore, although to me it's kind of like Twilight Zone. There are several Twilight Zones that will be on, and I don't care if I've seen it every year for 50 years, I'll still sit and watch it.
Right.
It's the same with the X-Files. There are, a half a dozen or a dozen episodes that I really like, and I don't care that I've seen them 5 or 6 times. I'm going to sit down and watch them.
Yeah.
And I think, I think the show with 2 white agents was iconic for the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that having 2 new agents who are people of color are going to be more representative of the United States than, a white woman and a white guy. And I also think it's going to lead to, deeper stories. I mean, you've got two people of color who are federal agents.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that they're going to have an easier time investigating UFOs and space monsters and Creature from the Black Lagoon? Or are they going to have, are they going to have a harder time? Or are they going to have to fight, are they going to have to fight, are they going to have to fight what we used to call the color battle?
Yeah.
Just to be able to get their point across and to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it could bring, yeah. I mean, if they have to do any kind of investigation in the South, I'm sure that's going to come up at least one time or another, you know. Mario, are you ready for this reboot? Is it something you're interested in?
I, like you, was a deep, deep fan. And matter of fact, when they came out on VHS and 3 VHS in a box, I don't know how many I bought, maybe 2 or 3. And I think I still have some of the cards. There's like a postcard size of the of what it was, that episode.
Yeah.
And I still remember the last season or two. I think they brought in, or the last season, they brought in some new characters, a new investigator, and then the issue about her baby. Was it going to be an alien or what? I think that was part of the. And I did see the 2 movies, but I don't care for it. I've moved beyond. Matter of fact, I have a channel in my streaming service that plays, the I guess like half the day, all of or whatever episodes they have of the X-Files. But the unique of it, I gather the uniqueness of it was that you don't know what they were going to encounter. Because I remember when she first met him, he was like in a basement office, and how to explain UFOs or something like that. But then you had like swamp things, and you had all these different, episodes. Can they expand on that? I don't know. What is it going to be now? More digital, AI stuff that comes out of the, maybe they'll have a couple episodes of, a computer generated person or something to that effect.
Yeah.
The mystery is gone.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, honestly, I'm hoping these are going to be some new episodes. I'm hoping they're not going to be churning out the same stuff we've already seen before, So hopefully we're going to see something new. I mean, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'll check out the first couple episodes, whatever, and hopefully it'll land.
I'll do that too.
But I got to tell you, what I've been really anxious, hoping that one day somebody will redo it again or reboot it again. I want to see Kolchak again. I mean, I can sit there. I'm telling you, I sit there and watch his movie. I think I have almost every episode of the original series that they had. Man, I love Kolchak. And there was actually one of the later episodes. I think, like, when I say later, maybe it's like one of the last seasons of the original. They actually had an alien that Fox Mulder and Scully were trying to rescue or save or, help escape. And he was actually dressed up in the Kolchak outfit. The seersucker suit and the straw hat.
I remember that.
So that was a real tip of the hat to Kolchak. Because realistically, that was the original first X-Files. That was the very first X-Files. And no one can tell me that Mark Snow was not inspired by Kolchak. So that's what I'm hoping that eventually we'll get a reboot for.
That they did do a remake or redo of Night Stalker some years ago, and I think that it was I think that Stuart Townsend played Kolchak,
Oh yeah.
and it only lasted an episode or two, and it was so wretched and horrible. It got canceled, and I don't think that Kolchak was a reporter anymore. I don't remember what it was that he did. But I watched the first episode or two, and then it was like, this is garbage.
Yeah. Here. Oh, you know what? Once I saw this here, yeah, Jeff, this confirms it. So it says that the 2005 to 2006 was a short-lived ABC reboot of the classic 1970s series. Produced by Frank Spotnitz. It stars Stuart Townsend as a younger, modern Carl Kolchak investigating supernatural crimes to find his wife's killer. So they already changed it around. And then it was canceled after 6 of 10 episodes aired due to competition with CSI. And then, I'm not trying to be mean, but it also had, I didn't watch it, but when you said it wasn't great, it said, Gabrielle Union was in it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's why. So I'm not a big Gabrielle Union fan. But
really? Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
Okay. Well, that's one of us. That's one of us that likes her. Yeah, I'm not a big I haven't seen anything yet that she's been in. I was like, oh my gosh, that was fabulous. I haven't. But maybe you saw, maybe Jeff, maybe that was the saving grace why you watched the 6 episodes because she was in. I don't know.
I think she was in Clueless too, wasn't she? Or 10 Things I Hate About You, one of those YA type movies from 1985 or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. Maybe it's just I haven't seen her in the right movie yet because nothing I have seen her in yet was at all impressive to me. I'm just saying. But that's neither here nor there. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the show didn't last long, and I'm hoping somebody eventually. You know what? I'm putting this out there to everybody. Even if they don't put a movie out there or another series, somebody should make a Kolchak video game. I think that would be really dope. Because, he didn't walk around with a gun. He's like, battling monsters. He killed vampires and stuff. I mean, that would be pretty dope. Like, you got to face these different monsters. And what do you have? A camera and a tape recorder? But you got to figure out how to survive. I think that would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? I think that'd be a pretty interesting game. So somebody out there, come up with a Kolchak video game. Not for your phone, not an app. Make it for like Nintendo Switch or Xbox or PlayStation. I don't have PlayStation, so Xbox, please. All right. Okay, guys. So that brings us to the last part of our show, which is this week's question of the week. So this week's question of the week is: if the Earth is about to be invaded by a hostile enemy, which sci-fi universe do you want protecting us and why? So you had to pick from the Star Wars universe. You have the Jedi, the Force, and the galaxy-wide military. We have Star Trek, that universe, which is advanced diplomacy and next-level technology. We have the Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes assembled. We have Independence Day, proven alien fighting experience. And then we have, which again, I don't get this one, but it's The Matrix, which is reality bending and AI warfare. So Mario, hostile aliens are on their way. They're going to be at Earth really soon. Which universe are you going to have protect us here on Earth? The Star Wars universe, Star Trek universe, the Avengers, the Independence Day universe, or Matrix?
Well, I'm going to have Independence Day. because there was no superhero. Am I correct?
Not in that
It
movie.
wasn't set in the future,
Yeah.
but they had two humans that didn't call into action. They were just at home watching TV. I'd have Jackie Chan and Chuck Norris also in my group of Independence Day.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Plus the experience they have, because if they're coming in and we don't have anything like in the movie. They did use common jet fighters. Yeah, I'd that Independence Day, I'd
Okay.
have the same pilots and the same, because Alan, we had some good scientists. Remember that one of them got killed, I think, in Independence Day.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
What's that?
It's been a long. You know what? I like Independence was okay. The overall, I think the movie was okay. I did like it, but the thing about it, and again, spoiler alert: this movie is so old. So if you haven't seen it by now, then okay, that's on you. The thing about it that to me made it so stupid. You had these aliens that have come in millions of miles here to attack Earth. And how do we defeat them? We take a simple computer virus on a regular, not Microsoft computer, Windows computer, and it works with their computer. You can't take anything from a Windows computer and work it on a Mac, but we took it and put it on an alien computer system and shut them down. That was the dopiest thing about that movie. I mean, it was okay. I did like the movie, but I mean that premise was like really stupid.
Didn't they make two?
Yeah, they did. I didn't even see the second.
I don't remember the second one though. I remember the one with Will Smith, but I don't remember the second one.
Jeff, who are you going to have save us? The Star Wars universe, the Star Trek universe? You're going to get the Avengers to save us, or Independence Day, or the Matrix people?
I'm going to go with Star Trek because that was the United Federation of Planets.
Right.
So if aliens are coming to kick our keister, I want to be able to draw on the science and tech and the aliens that are going to be willing to go more, I'm going to say boots on the ground, but I mean probably, boots on a spaceship.
Yeah.
And come, because if they're coming to attack Earth, the Avengers are not going to be able to be everywhere at once or be in multiple locations at the same time. So it makes more sense to have an outfit with multiple large spacefaring vessels with phasers and photon cannons and whatever tech they can come to help come to Earth and save our butts. So it's gonna be Star Trek. Gotta be. Live long and prosper, everyone.